morning, everybody. It's a little bit later than I typically get up. It's almost 9 o'clock, but I actually did not sleep very well last night, but that's okay because today's a very exciting day as we are living it like Tracy Anderson. If you don't know who Tracy Anderson is, she is basically like a fitness mogul. She created her own workout method that I have chatted about before on this channel, and I will say I am not the biggest fan. And the main reason for that is because a lot of her education and research really is just like not supported by any studies that we currently have today. There's a lot of promises, false promises in a lot of her advertising and marketing, and based off of employee accounts, she does not treat her employees very well. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today in terms of living like Tracy as we start to put on a little bit of makeup and get ready to get some work done. Tracy Anderson has been around for a really long time. She kind of rose to fame when she started training Gwyneth Paltrow. I will say, if you want to be taken seriously in the health and fitness world, you really don't want to be associated with Gwyneth Paltrow, but that's a topic for another video. But I bring up that she's been around for a long time because there are a ton of different articles breaking down kind of a day in the life of Tracy Anderson, what she eats during the day, and then of course there's her personalized workout method. So I kind of put together a timeline of the day and what we're going to be doing based off of bits and pieces from all of these articles that I found. Keep in mind two things. Number one, I'm kind of piecing together things that I think will make the most interesting video. So I am in no means saying this is how Tracy Anderson lives her everyday life. These are simply habits and things that she has said that she's done in different articles over different years that I have put together. And then the second thing to keep in mind is something I already addressed. I'm obviously biased because I do not like what Tracy Anderson stands for. So the point of this video is honestly just kind of show you that what she preaches doesn't necessarily reflect the outcomes that she promises and what studies have shown us lead to a long, healthy life. So I was going to wake up at 6:50 today because typically Tracy wakes up at 6:50 so she can wake up her daughter at 7. I was going to wake up my daughter Zoe. Zoe is a cat. I didn't sleep well, so I let myself sleep in. And Tracy says she always starts her day with a black coffee with oat milk, but I've also seen just regular milk written in other articles, which is what I had in the fridge, frothed, and then on top. Never stirred in. That was very specific. It's actually very similar to how I take my coffee anyway, so that wasn't a big deal. She also starts her day with this lemon water olive oil concoction, which we're gonna go try after this. And we're gonna make breakfast. But something else that Tracy did talk about doing was creating a playlist for the day. So before I continue putting on my face, we're gonna do that really quickly because I also am a huge fan of incorporating different moods and playlists throughout my workday. All right, I am a Spotify girly. Sorry to all my Apple Music people. First thing I like to do is see what my day list recommends. Ooh. Oh yeah, these are the vibes. Comforting Art Deco Tuesday morning. You listen to Desiderium and Comforting on Tuesdays in the morning. What in the AI does that mean? Here's some Art Deco, Comforting, Depressed Sesh, Sleepy Weepy, Unrequited Love, and Sad Girl. I don't know what half those words mean, but let's listen.
Like sipping an overcane. We're far from where we started, when things were getting harder. I'm trying to feel your pain. I know I'm pretty stubborn, but you're also pretty stubborn.
Here she is. Come here, big girl. Come here. Good morning. So all of the food that I'm taking from today actually comes from an article, I think from 2022, where Tracy Anderson talked through what she ate on a weight management day. So I'm assuming like in a cut. We already talked about the coffee. Now we're gonna make the water. First up, water. Second, lemon. She didn't say how much of the lemon specifically, so we're gonna do half. All right, it doesn't fit nicely in that little doohickey, and I just wasted half that lemon because it fell face down in the sink. All right, step 2. Actually get your lemon in. This bitch is bulky. Oh my God, Justina, you work out. Let's go. Next is the crazy part. A teaspoon of olive oil. All right, here we go. This reminds me of those like drinks that people were having at Starbucks with the olive oil in them. I was like, who asked for that? All right, and finally, a pinch of sea salt. Here's our concoction before mixing. Doesn't oil and water not mix though? I did not wash this cup very well. There's like remnants of Diet Coke. Oh God, it's like separating. Okay, we're gonna add a straw. because that makes everything better, right? Cheers. Okay, I cannot taste the olive oil. It honestly just tastes like lemon water. Not mad about this. So we're gonna go do our hair now before we have breakfast, and we're gonna chat about what the claimed benefits are of this. These are not benefits that Tracy Anderson I have seen anywhere claim. This is just where I see most people kind of go with why they have lemon water, and I'll just kind of like give you the science and give you my thoughts. Honestly, there are claims that range from like lemon water in the morning can help with weight loss, boosting your metabolism, to like depuffing your face, to improving your hormone health. And all of those claims sound amazing, but unfortunately, there just isn't enough controlled evidence to actually support those claims. Now, the other things that we have in here, the olive oil, a healthy fat, to be frank, I don't really know why that's in this drink. The salt makes sense to me because Tracy Anderson does do her workouts in a heated space, so you're gonna lose electrolytes, so having some of those extra electrolytes, sodium, right off the bat in the morning is probably super helpful for her. But overall, the evidence behind lemon water is very little in terms of like health benefits. Now, does that mean that I don't think that there's a single benefit to it? No. Number one, it gets you to drink a glass of water in the morning. And honestly, this tastes really good. I'm shocked that the olive oil is not overwhelming it by any means right now. And number two, even if, like, let's say having the lemon water is more of like a placebo effect in terms of like health promoting habits, I don't even mind that because again, it's not anything that you really have to spend extra money on. You're not like supporting some scam artist supplement company, and implementing a habit in the morning that kind of sets you up for success for the rest of the day, that's a win right there. You know, if you ever made a decision in your day that maybe isn't the healthiest, and then you go, oh, well, the whole day's waste, I'm just going to start over again tomorrow. You can do that the same way for healthier habits, like drinking a glass of water, whether it has lemon, olive oil, sea salt in it or not. But including more of those habits at the beginning of your day is definitely going to set you up for success. So even though this one, I'm not going to stand behind any claims except for the fact that it hydrates you, I think including lemon water in your morning is awesome. It also tastes way better than regular water. So I'm going to finish giving myself this fake blowout, and then we're going to make breakfast, which I have mixed feelings on. The next thing we're making is breakfast, which is an apple blueberry puree. You're going to notice that a lot of the recipes today sound like baby food. I don't really know what the difference is between like a puree and a smoothie. I have a feeling this is going to turn out more smoothie-like. There was no recipe to follow. Blueberries, an apple. Let's get them ready. All right, here is the final product. Cheers. It's like cold baby food, but not in like a bad way. Honestly, I would do this differently simply by adding in a little bit more diverse of a macronutrient profile. So definitely I would have liked to add in some type of protein, maybe a protein powder in here. It's basically all carb, which there's nothing wrong with. Carbs are going to give you some great energy to start your day, but you're definitely going to want something to keep you a little bit fuller. I know that Tracy specifically says in this article that she doesn't eat a certain amount, she eats until she's full. But I will say, I don't know how much of this I could even eat and stay full of. So I'm going to enjoy my baby food for the next 30 minutes, and then we're going to get dressed and I have to get some filming done. Okay, the next part of our day, we are heading to the Tracy Anderson studio in Midtown East. We are taking a class. I have taken her online, like her digital programming before. I've never actually taken a class in person. I'm actually scared. It looks crazy. So I'm gonna take you with me. We'll see what I can get in terms of footage. I typically try to be super respectful of the instructor and the other people around me. And obviously I will do that, but I also see people filming in their classes all the time. So I feel like the culture is like influencers filming themselves. So we'll see. We'll see what I feel comfortable with. But let's get on the train and go. I get out of the subway and the first thing I see are two giant trucks decked out in MAGA gear, blasting country. Where am I? I thought I was in Manhattan. Okay, we have made it to the studio. I will say the outside of the studio is always like really, really cool. It looks like an old movie theater. I'll show you.
has like a cool marquee on it.
See that marquee? That's the studio. Let's go check in. Ah, I'm scared.
Oh my God. Drenched. Okay. I have so many thoughts. I'm going to collect my thoughts on the subway ride home, and we will eat lunch because I'm starving and recap.
All right, we are back at home. I'm going to start lunch and then we'll kind of chat about the class. So lunch today is a hot broccoli and cauliflower salad and then a parsnip, carrot, peas, and herb puree. Well, the salad sounds good. I'd like to point out we haven't had protein yet today. So let's start this lunch. We're going to talk more about like the nitty gritty of the nutrition component here, but I got to get something in my body. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, let's chat because I definitely have some strong thoughts here. I have to get out this shirt. Hold on. Let's talk about the things that I liked first. Number one, that studio is gorgeous. It literally looks like it's brand new. Oh my God, my hair's soaked. If you watch my most recent like TikTok roundup, you'll know that I talked about Tracy Anderson in it briefly because I came across a piece of content that basically said the studios were disgusting. That creator must have been talking about the Tribeca studio because this one was immaculate. The front desk staff was so kind, probably some of the nicest, most welcoming staff for, you know, taking on my first time. Also randomly ran into an old student of mine from the children's theater that I used to teach at. She's a full grown adult now, but she apparently like works the front desk there. So I got to sit and chat and like catch up with her. So that was just really fun. It's so funny, like New York is so small. After I checked in, I dropped my stuff in the locker room and there's like a sign that says basically line up here against the wall and wait to enter class. I'm sure that especially among members, there's like a fight to get the spot that you want. So the earlier you get there, you know, you get better dibs of getting your front row spot. So what I did love was that apparently there was a girl like refusing to get in line and she was just like standing by the door and someone like told on her and the instructor was like, get the fuck in line. And I loved that. I'm a rule follower. Let's talk about the price point really quickly. So I paid the drop-in rate, which was $45, which is definitely pricey, but I will say, especially now, that's about average for like a drop-in class in New York City or in a big like city market. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, I think every drop-in class is worth that amount of money, but we also have to keep in mind the fact that like, things are just more expensive now. And I know for a fact, like property taxes in New York have gone up. So it's not that I like the price of the class, but I do think it's appropriate. A membership though is $900 a month and that's insane to me. That's a topic for another video. Okay, so I liked when we got into class that they had everyone's spots laid out for you. So you had like a mat, you had ankle weights, you had hand weights, and then you had 2 little towels. I really loved that they put the spots out for you because no offense, but people have really bad body awareness. And like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I go to take a class and someone is like right up on me and has no idea. So I really appreciated the fact that like everyone had their own space. I also really liked the music. It was everything from like 80s to current day. And tying along with the music, I really liked the first chunk of class. It was like some standing arm work because it was 100% set to the music. So I found it really easy to follow, even though it was my first time taking it. So those are all of the things that I liked. And I will say I liked a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm glad that I tried it and I'm glad I kept an open mind, but let's dive into the things that I don't really like. So we're gonna jump around here a little bit because these were just kind of like my notes on the subway. But at the very, very end of class, we had to wipe down our own equipment, which I was like, honestly, for like how expensive this class is and how expensive a membership is, like we shouldn't have to like restack our mats and like wipe them off and wipe off our equipment. Like you should just have someone do that for you. That's just my opinion. That's a small thing. Anyway, the actual class. So we did the standing arm stuff, which was absolutely on the beat of the music. And then I actually remember this from the first Tracy Anderson video that I did where I tried like an at-home workout and everything else from there on out was like almost to the beat of the music. It was like just off, which was very odd. And I remember in that first video being like, is it just because they overlaid it after? Are they trying to get around like copyright? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And then it happened in this too. And I was like, I literally don't understand what's happening. I could still follow fine, but like it wasn't as intuitive as the standing part. Also, once you're on the mat, you're just kind of like craning your neck the whole time, trying to see what the instructor's doing. So it doesn't also help the fact that like you're also not doing anything to the beat of the music anymore. And the reason you're craning your neck is because there's absolutely no live cueing. So you're just like blindly following this instructor, who I also will say I really liked her, but she was giving kind of like stern energy. Like, she stopped us in the middle of combos a few times and wouldn't even really speak, but would just show with her leg like internally rotated and then neutral. And she would be like, and like kind of like, in my opinion, overly stern about it for a class where you're literally not cueing. Like, you can't really get mad at us for not doing it right if you're not saying anything. And like, I talked about this quickly in that TikTok roundup where I talked about Tracy Anderson, but like, if this is such a specific method, which I'm gonna put really loosely here, but like if this is such a specific method where you have to do things so specifically with the angles of your body to achieve the results or do it correctly, wouldn't you wanna make sure that like you're setting up your class in a way where people actually can achieve those things? Because I have to say, and no shade to the people in the class, everyone was doing the most wild shit I've ever seen. And like, not in like a fun way. Everyone has a different arm, a different angle, a different this, a different that. And yeah, so the instructor was getting frustrated, but like, I don't really think you've earned that frustration, because how is anyone supposed to know? It's a really, really difficult skill for people just to look at something and then replicate it with their own body. I grew up dancing, so it's much easier for me, but like, you can't really expect that of people. So I think that just brings me to like my overall takeaway of the class. Overall, it's not my style. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would, but it's just not my vibe. It's not my preferred form of movement. But I do definitely see why people enjoy it. The class flew by. Like, your brain is on the whole time because you're just watching this instructor. Like, I felt we were 20 minutes into the class and we were 45 minutes in. And I was like, oh, damn. All right, this is flying. You know, you're constantly moving. And then I believe these combos, or like the structure of the class, changes like every quarter or something. Like, you stick with the same routines for a while. So it also gives people that chance to like get really good at something. And then of course, you know, you're doing it in a heated room, so you're sweating your ass off. And a lot of times people equate sweat to a good workout, which is fine. People like sweating. It makes them feel like they did something really hard and they like earned it. So I get it. Like, I see why people like the class. But, you know, in terms of this method, I'm going to keep putting that in quotes because I just think that's such a silly thing. But anyway, I stand by my original take in that first video that I made. This is just cardio in a heated room. It's not strength training. There is no strength element about this. There are some muscular endurance elements for sure. I am quite literally relearning this right now and studying this right now. This will not yield the benefits of strength training. And those specific benefits are increased bone density, increased muscle mass, specific hormonal changes. This will elicit more aerobic benefits. This will improve your heart health. This will probably increase your muscular endurance in specific movements. It's definitely going to improve your coordination. It has the potential to improve parts of your mobility or flexibility, but it simply, unless you are 100% new to movement, there isn't enough of a stimulus to make this strength training, a specific stimulus for strength training. I can make a whole video. I feel like I don't know. I can make a video diving into that. It's not appropriate for this video, but I just want you to remember that I'm not trying to say that this is bad. Like, if you enjoy this as your cardio, as your fun movement, by all means, go for it. Personally, I would rather support a more ethical business model, but like, that's just me. But anyway, I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying this doesn't replace strength training. If we look at these zoomed out, long-term meta-analysis, these big studies, what has shown to lead to long-term health? 2 to 3 times a week of strength training, full body. The cardio recommendations right now are 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity a week. 7,000 to 8,000 steps on average daily has been shown to yield huge decreases in chronic health issues as you age. And Tracy Anderson fits in that aerobic activity, and then some of the steps. Strength training fits in the strength training part. Tracy Anderson does not replace strength work, just like strength work does not replace Tracy Anderson or whatever cardio you can tolerate doing. That's the point I want to make. It's two different things and you need both, but we're training two different systems. There's definitely overlap in benefits, but you need those two separate things to gain those two separate benefits. And the thing that I don't always love about fitness marketed to women specifically is this idea of like long, lean lines, dancer body, small, toned, skinny, and like that's really what Tracy Anderson's main marketing is, which is another reason why I just don't really vibe with it. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm crazy hungry, so I'm gonna continue to make this lunch, and then I just have some computer work for the day. I'm not even gonna lie, I purposely scheduled nothing in terms of clients or like vigorous activity today aside from this class because I knew I was going to be incredibly malnourished. So I'm just gonna be taking it easy and I'm gonna try and not feel disgusting. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see what we have. I look crazy. Okay, so I had a little trouble with the puree and it's more just like mush. But here's the peas and carrots. We're gonna try this guy first. Oh, I didn't do parsnip because I don't know what a parsnip is. Okay, it's fine. It's giving baby food. Here is the broccoli cauliflower salad. It also has some, I did Kalamata olives. She said black olives, but these were just ones I had, and capers. Yeah, I omitted the chili flake because I'm not a spicy person. I mean, these are fine. They're good. How am I staying full? Vegetables and more vegetables. So all right, I'm gonna sit and eat this during my lunch, and then I'm gonna get a little bit of work done, and then we're gonna talk about our snack options.
Learning both. The success of this dance
Hello. Okay. I did approximately 5 minutes of work and I quite literally like could not focus. Probably because the only thing I've eaten today are fruits and vegetables. So I realized that this article that was put out was a weight management day, meaning like this is a day where Tracy's trying to basically eat in a deficit, right? But I think it's really important to show people that like you don't need to just eat basically baby food to be in a deficit. You can eat the exact same things you typically eat, but take down the portion sizes. You could eat nutritious balance meals made up of protein, fiber, carbs, fats, vegetables, fruits in appropriate portion sizes that lead to a deficit. You could also technically eat McDonald's every day and be in a deficit. I wouldn't recommend that. You would feel like shit, but you technically could. So I'm definitely feeling just like absolutely exhausted. Also, let's be so real. I didn't sleep well last night. I did take that class and exerted energy, but I also haven't eaten a lot. So this is also a great example of like, we need to take in all the factors. I don't love when people are like, well, this worked for me, so it'll work for everybody, because you're just seeing right now, there's so many other factors at play, right? I can't say, oh, this diet made me sleepy or not able to focus because I also only got like 4.5 hours of sleep last night. Anyway, that's a tangent. So honestly, my big takeaways from the nutrition side of things is that it is unnecessary to eat like this. It's not sustainable. And I have had so much fiber today. Like I've literally just had fiber. Things ain't feeling great. So what the plan of action is for the rest of the night and the rest of this video, because I truly just want to end the video now. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I want to just be done talking to you. No offense. I'm so sorry. So before I hop in the shower and then make dinner, which we'll go through and talk about, I want to discuss Tracy's absolutely unhinged snack option that I have seen in 2 different articles. So I've seen in one article, she talks about having some almonds. I think that's a great option. She's talked about having like a few pieces of dark chocolate, also a great option. But also in these articles, she gives the option for 1 crisp glass of wine. What? I'm sorry, that's just like a crazy suggestion for a snack in the middle of the workday. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm gonna take a shower and then we'll meet back and we're gonna talk about what's on the dinner menu.
astray. Try to forget, but the thoughts, they seem to drown me instead.
All right, we have some chicken and wild rice soup, and we've got a cod fillet that I absolutely massacred. This was kind of a mistake. It was supposed to be a different type of soup, but as I was shopping at the grocery store, I could not imagine making another fucking puree at the end of the night. All right, let's take a quick bite. I've had this soup 1,000 times when I'm sick, so I know it's good. This cod is either perfectly cooked or undercooked. That's actually really good. All right, well, I'm starving and I'm exhausted, so we're gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. This was supposed to just be fun. Hopefully more fun for you than it was for me. Honestly, the worst part of the day was just the nutrition. It's just not enough, even if you are looking to be in a deficit or have a weight management day, as Tracy calls it. So I'm gonna sit on the couch with Kevin, eat this dinner, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Do,